welcome, Outlander. Alvin must be Watch it out.
You heard the whistle. Time to go.
But I was supposed to have 3 escorts.
I'm off to Baron Lightbodies. Like Aloy said, Captain's orders. You can stay here.
Abandoned to the riffraff? I think not.
Guess you're coming with me then. See you there, Aloy.
Well, now that that's done... The embassy can finally get underway. If I can get through it, I'll be able to track down Silence. Hades. Maybe even a Gaia backup. Guess I could head straight for Barren Light. Or poke around the don't see first. And maybe take ketchup on that drink.
Do I have to say it every time?
Savior! Over here! Savior, thank you for taking the time. And my condolences that you had to endure Ulvund's bloviating.
I've dealt with worse. It sounds like he's really trying to put you over the barrel.
The idea that the Karja purposely let bristlebacks into the Daunt, it's completely absurd. But the louder and longer he says it, the more support he'll get for his damned concession decree.
How did the bristlebacks get into the Daunt?
No one knows for sure. The first report of them came from west of the quarry. But unless they have wings I don't know about, I don't see how they could have come over the mountains.
No other way in.
The only way I know about is Barren Light. Look, if you can get to the bottom of this, I can offer a considerable bounty in return. Help me shut Ulvund up.
What is this concession decree that Ulvund wants?
He wants the Sundom to designate portions of the Daunt as Oseram holdings. Only the portions, mind you, that produce any value.
Let me guess. Because he stands to profit somehow?
Exactly. With the Daunt under Oseram law, he could secure more investment for their numerous ventures.
He can't get those investments without the concession?
No. Not while there's a chance the Sundom could revoke their access. Hence, why the concession is so important to him. And why blaming the Karja for the bristlebacks, no matter how absurd, works in his favor.
How does blaming the Karja for the bristlebacks help Ulvund get his concession?
Look around. This may be the Sundom, but Chainscrape is all gears and rust and bad ale. Claiming that the Karja loosed the bristlebacks in order to intimidate Oseram laborers into obedience. Well, let's just say no one here has forgotten the atrocities of the mad Sun King. Even with the valley working again, Ulvund hopes he can stir up enough resentment against the Karja to call for a strike.
And if the Oseram refuse to work, unless the concession is signed, you won't have a choice.
Correct. The reconstruction of Barren Light must continue.
How did you get stuck out here?
I asked for the posting, believe it or not. Overseeing the entire valley on behalf of the Sun King? It was an honor. Is an honor, I mean.
But your job would be a lot easier without someone like Ulvund blasting hot air all the time?
Ulvund's not going anywhere. He's been around longer than I have. Even fancies himself the founder of Chainscrape. Now, I'll find a way to live with him. I have to.
You said the bristlebacks were first spotted west of the quarry?
Yes, according to one terrified laborer, said the ground trembled before they came charging down the hillside. He took off and ran all the way here.
Good place to start looking, then.
If you learn the truth, maybe Ulvund will stop blaming the Karja for every problem under the sun, and maybe then he'll actually focus on rebuilding Barren Light instead.
I'm telling you, I saw it scoop up a whole bunch of machines. That's right. Thought it was gonna get me too. even the savior. Come to revel in some strike, sister? Let me set the board.
I was just passing by.
First timer, huh? Don't worry about it. I'll go easy on you. You got any pieces?
No.
Well, aren't you in luck then? I got an extra set, a Tanakh original straight out of the Forbidden West. Sit. I'll run you through it in a hot spark. I'll give you something special if you win it on my boards, too. All right, let's start off simple. The Tanakh like to say that Machine Strike is a game of pure strategy. We each get a set of pieces. Each piece represents a kind of machine, and each machine is worth a different number of victory points. And to win the game, you'll need to gain 7 victory points by destroying the opponent's machines. It can be tricky remembering the details of every machine, so we use these notes to keep track of them. You see that number on the top right corner? That there is how many victory points you'll get for destroying that machine. Notes also tell you how far a piece can move, how powerful their attacks are, the distance they can strike from, and of course, their health. Okay, that's enough for now. Let's just play. I'll explain the rest as we go. I own the board, so I get to choose who goes first. Since this is your first time, I'll let you go. Usually you get to choose which pieces to set on the board, but this will do for now. Pick up that machine piece to your right, and move it forward. And remember, each machine can only move a certain distance. Take a look at your notes if you need a reminder. Just need to, move that machine forward, Red. Gotta move that machine forward. Easy enough, huh? Now, you get to move 2 machines each round, so go ahead and pick a second machine. Perfect. There's not much else to do for now, so just end your turn. We're forging onwards. Let me move my pieces here. And we're back to you. This time, why don't you try attacking one of my pieces? Try with that machine on your right first. Now move the piece. When performing an attack, you'll be testing your machine's combat power against the opponent's. And its own attack power. This and your current machine has 2 points. So in total, since my machine, and just like you, so right now, this means your machine can do 2 points. Did you get all that? Knew you were a smart one. Finish up by attacking my machine. Not pulling any punches, huh? Now grab that second machine of yours. See how your machine can't move close enough to attack mine? You can make your machine sprint. That lets it move 1 space further. Try it out. Downside to sprinting is that your machine can no longer attack. Now, some players like to take a risk and overcharge their machine in cases like this. Overcharging lets you attack after a sprint, but it will damage your machine's health by 2 points. So use at your own discretion. Let's try doing that now so you can see what I mean. That's about it for your turn, then. Now, I'll let you in on a neat trick. That machine of yours, the one closest to me, grab a hold of it. Same as in the wilds, machines have both armored points and weak points. You can see them marked on the pieces. Blue shows where their armor is thickest. Hit them there, and you'll do some damage, but not a lot. Now, red shows the machine's weak points. Hit those and you'll deal a mighty blow. Here, let me show you. Rotate that piece so your machine faces mine. Now let that machine have it. Off the board she goes, and there's your first victory points. You don't have 7 of them yet, so let's keep going. Your machine attacked mine, but hasn't moved yet. Go ahead and move downwards towards my remaining piece. You've already attacked a machine and moved your piece. But if you overcharge your machine, you can attack a second time. And by the look of your machine's health, you'd be sacrificing your piece to defeat mine. But sometimes, that can be a good thing. Overcharge your machine to attack mine a second time, and I'll show you what I mean. Ain't that a thrill? Now, because your machine was knocked out at the same time as mine, we both get the victory points our machines are worth. Good news is, since you're the one attacking, you're gonna receive your victory points before I do. Which means you can reach the coveted 7 victory points first. That's why sometimes losing a piece can be the best way to end a game in your favor. Now, you'll notice you didn't get quite up to 7 victory points this time, but you did destroy all my pieces. That means you're the winner! That wasn't so hard, was it? Just remember to always check for the best terrain to attack from. You'd be surprised the advantage you can gain over an opponent like that. I know it saved my behind in a game or two.
I'll try and remember that.
Oh, before I forget, these are all my spare pieces. I want the Savior of Meridian to have them. It's a small set to be sure, but it should be enough to get you in on any strike games you find out there. You might even fancy looking out for them strike carvers. They've got all kinds of unique pieces that can turn a game in your favor, though they'll need the right materials to craft you one. Or you might find them in the wilds if you're lucky. I know I've lost my fair share of pieces after a night of machine hunting or brew hopping. No need to thank me. Always a pleasure to help out new strike players. Now, if you feel like playing a real game, I've got plenty of other boards. I could even teach you a few more tricks if you're up for it.
Thanks. I'll think about it.
I knew I'd make a strike player out of you yet. How about this time I tell you how to use a board's terrain to your advantage? This one's got all the different terrains you can encounter in a game of strike. Knowing when and how to use them can mean the difference between victory and defeat. Terrain mainly affects your machine's combat power. As you know, when fighting an opponent's machine, you compare its combat power to yours. The higher your machine's combat power, the more damage you can do. So finding the right terrain is an essential strategy for overpowering your opponent. Here, I'll show you. Grab that piece to your left and move to attack my machines. Now let's take a look at your machine's combat power. Combat power is the sum of a machine's attack power and the value of the terrain it's standing on. Since your machine is attacking, it's using its 2 points of attack power. It's also standing on forest terrain with a value of 1 point. Add those together, and your machine has 3 points of combat power. My machine is standing on grassland terrain with a value of 0 points. It's also not attacking, which means their attack points aren't in play. So my combat power is 0. This means your machine can do 3 points of damage. Go ahead and test it out. There you go. Now, choosing the right terrain doesn't just improve your offense. It can also help defend your machines from attack. Grab your other piece and place it. Since your machine is attacking, it's using its 2 points of attack power. It's standing on grassland terrain. This terrain has a value of 0. This means your machine's combat power adds up to 2 points. My machine can't use their attack power since they're defending their position. But they have the higher ground. They're standing on forest terrain, which is worth 1 point. This means my combat power adds up to 1 point. Now, the front of my machine is colored blue. This means that the spot you're about to attack has armor protecting it, which means my machine gets an extra point, giving it a total of 2 combat power points. If we compare the combat power of both machines, you'll see that you won't be able to do any damage. Whenever you're unable to top an opponent's combat power, you can still choose to attack and break their machine's defenses instead. Go ahead, try it out and see what happens. Ha, see? When you break a machine's defenses, you can knock it backwards. Sure, both our machines will receive 1 point of damage, but knocking my machine off that terrain makes it more vulnerable to attacks. Not only that, if my machine had been blocked from moving backwards, it would have received an extra point of damage. And if my machine had been blocked by another one of my pieces, that machine would have received damage as well. That's why breaking a machine's defenses is a great way to deal damage to several pieces at once. Useful, right? Okay, now go ahead and end your turn. There's still one more thing I want to show you. All right, as we've seen, the higher the terrain, the more it'll add to your machine's combat power. However, there are 2 other terrains that work a little differently. This is what we call a chasm. Only flying machines can be placed on those. But it'll take away 2 combat points if you do, so be wary. This is marsh terrain. Landing on it will take away 1 combat power point from most machines. It'll also keep your machine from moving for the rest of the turn. Here, let me show you. Grab that machine on your left. See? All you can do now is wait for your next turn to move again. Or you can overcharge your machine to get out of there. You can still attack any nearby enemies so you're not completely helpless. Well, I think that's enough yammering from me for now. Promise it'll all come in handy next time you play. Here for more tips? Why don't I tell you a bit more about the pieces we used to play? In a normal game, you get to choose which machines you place on the board. Each one is worth a certain number of setup points, and you can spend up to 10 assembling your army. Knowing what each machine brings to the game and building an army that matches your strategy is the key to becoming a machine strike master. When assembling your army, there are a few things to keep in mind. First and foremost, you can never have more than 4 of the same machine on the board at the same time. With that in mind, most players would choose machines based on how far they can move or how much attack power they have. But a real strike player will be looking at a machine's type and skills. Let's take a quick look, shall we? Pick up that machine on your left. All right, let's talk about the different ways in which a machine attacks its opponents. In other words, its machine type. If you look at your notes, you'll see this machine here is a melee type. You can also tell by the shape of the base the piece stands on. A melee type machine attacks the first enemy within range, and no one else. We've seen this plenty of times, so just move that piece forward so I can show you some more stuff. Great, now grab your other machine. Looks like we've got ourselves a gunner-type machine here. This means they'll only hit the farthest enemy in their attack range. Let's move so we can take a look at the rest of the pieces. Let's go with this piece first. This is a ram-type machine. Attack an enemy with it, and it'll push the piece backwards. Like this. See, now my machine has taken over your machine's spot on the board. This is a great way to take the advantage away from your opponent if they have the higher ground. Looks like we have one more piece to look at. Now this is a beauty of a piece, a dash-type machine. When it attacks, it'll move to the end of its attack range and damage every machine in its path, including your own. So make sure you take a good look at the board before you send it off to the races. You should also make sure it's able to finish its attack on an empty spot. Otherwise, you won't be able to attack at all. Here, I'll show you. Look, it even rotated your piece. A nifty little piece you'll definitely want in your set. If you look at your notes, you'll notice this particular machine has one of the skills I mentioned before. There's quite a few of those, and we haven't even looked at all the machine types yet. But I'm pretty sure you've got more important things to do, so I made you a list. It's got all the tips and tricks we talked about, too. I think that about does it for now, so if you want to play a real game, just let me know. Let's play. You're up, Red. Time to make my move. Board's all yours. Time to get serious. Down to one piece. I might win this thing. One less piece on the board. My turn. Your move, Red. Looks like I lost. This is gonna be fun. Your turn. Okay, let's see. That's it for me. Ah, not that easy to get through my machine's armor, is it? I'm up. Knocked it right off the board. Time to make my move. Your turn. That was brutal. Just one piece left. Just one piece left. That sure dampens the forge. I was hoping you wouldn't do that. Taking a risk, huh? My turn. Well, that's done now. You got me, fair and square. Good luck. Time to get serious. That's it for me. I'm up. Ah, off the board it goes. Your move, Red. Off the board it goes. Okay, let's see. That was brutal. You're up, Red. Time to make my move. Board's all yours. Thank the forge you hit armor. Oh, seriously? My turn. Knocked right off the board. Well, that's done now. I'm up. Guess luck's not on your side today, Red. Here we go. You're up, Red. Time to get serious. That's it for me. Hey, I like that piece where it was. One less piece on the board. Okay, let's see. That was brutal. off the board it goes. Well, that's done now. Time to get serious. Board's all yours. Time to make my move. Knocked right off the board. Okay, let's see. One less piece on the board. Knocked right off the board. I got a tough fight ahead of me. You got me down to one piece. I am impressed. Now that was a game, even if I lost. Let's do this. Your turn. I'm up. Your move, Red. I'm up. That was brutal. Well, that's done now. Off the board it goes. Time to make my move. One less piece on the board. Board's all yours. Off the board it goes. Okay, let's see. Well, that's done now. Hey! Oh, that was the perfect spot! Time to get serious. One less piece on the board. That was brutal. My turn. That's it for me. Oh, I won! Probably shouldn't sound so surprised, huh? Let's play! Okay, let's see. Your turn. glad you decided to play, Aloy. This is fun. Time to get serious. Knocked right off the board. Well, that's done now. Off the board it goes. My turn. Knocked right off the board. One less piece on the board. That was a surprise. Time to make my move. That was brutal. Your move, Red. Off the board it goes. I'm up. Knocked right off the board. I won! Oh, but I'll play you again if you want. Let's do this. Trust your instincts, Red. My turn. You're up, Red. I'm up. Board's all yours. Okay, let's see. That was brutal. Your turn. Well, that's done now. Time to make my move. That's it for me. One less piece on the board. Time to get serious. Off the board it goes. Well, that's done now. Time to make my move. My turn. You're up, Red. Armor is a machine's best defense. Oh, only one machine left. Okay, let's see. Your move, Red. Well, spark my forge. You have beaten me on every one of my boards. Now that deserves a prize, I say. Don't be a stranger.
I could get around faster if I find a charger to override. I can override one of these chargers. I have to go in quiet so I don't spook the herd. could teach me how to override these machines. But where would they be? Javod said the bristlebacks were first spotted west of the quarry. I should see if there's anything in the back of the valley. Dead bristleback by the falls. Better check it out. Looks like it died on impact. Maybe it charged off the cliff up there. I better keep following the trail up. Pouring on me. I can send it to my stash. An old mine. And a lot of broken trees. It's like a stampede went through. Is this where the bristlebacks came from? But how? Unless this cave leads out of the Daunt. Okay, let's see where this leads. The old cart tracks collapsed. It looks recent. Guess I'm not going that way. There's smoke from deeper in the mine. An explosion? Bristlebacks. So they did come through here. They must have gotten trapped. I'm gonna have to take them out before I can look around. Better take a look at where the smoke's coming from. There's a lot of smoke. It looks like the mine runs pretty far. There's enough blaze here to blast a mountain open. And there's a note on one of the barrels. So it's addressed to Oland. This mine was supposed to be shut down. They must have gotten greedy. Kept blasting deeper into the mountain. I should let Javad know what I found. So Olvin was secretly blasting in the mine, trying to squeeze it for all it's worth. Until Bristleback stampeded through. Maybe the explosions blew a way open? But from where? Okay.
Yeah, got work to do.
Look at her go!
Well, they don't like us. Barren Light. Last part of the Sundom before the Forbidden West. And the Karja Horn. That means the Nemesis was on.
That was rebels? Walk it up.
Alright, I should find whoever's in charge here. First, I could resupply at my stash. Might be worth taking. Look around too.
Some fine gear you got there.
Be safe and come back soon, Huntress.
Yeah, you!
There's Errand. Looks like he's had a few.
Lighten up, Paid. You've got a thick wall of stone between you and the Tanakh out there.
Yes, sir.
Is that the savior of Meridian?
Come on, then. No one's up for a game of strike?
Cleared out the bristleback?
I meant to ask, how did you do in fighting fit?
What are you playing?
To the claim for the brewmaster. Didn't expect to see you up and about.
Cheers.
Hey, I thought you'd left by now.
Good day.
Whoever it was that cleared the bristleback, I'm just glad to be taken out of the sea.
Yes! Time to play some strike. Good luck. Time for me to step up. I'm done. Okay, I can do this. It's all you. One down. My turn. Your turn. Oh, that's my cue. And there it goes. Off the board you go, buddy. Your time to shine, friend. And that's it. You win. Let us do battle. What'll it be? Gotta think this through. Let's get that piece out of there. Oh, what a relief. You hit armor. Ha! Look at you moving my pieces. I see how it is. My turn. It's all you. Machine down! And there it goes. Okay, I can do this. You beat me, but I bet I can win next time. Here we go. What'll it be? Gotta think this through. machine down! I'm done. One down. Phew! You just hit my machine's armor. Oh, that's my cue. Your turn. Off the board you go, buddy. Time for me to step up. And you win. On the last of my boards. Here, a reward. I look forward to our next game. Let's play some machines.
Time to put your shards to use. I'll draw the shards from your
I've got boards ready to go if anyone will.
Why the long face, my boss?
Are you in charge around here?
Apologies, no. That would be Commander Nozar. I'm Lawan, his second in command. So, what brings Aloy of the Nora to Barren Light?
I'm here for the embassy. I need it to happen so I can head west. And maybe now that Studious Wadis is here, we can finally get things underway.
Yes, the Sun Priest. Walked in practically kicking and screaming behind his escort. Really seems to like his scrolls. But the embassy remains delayed. Commander Nozar has signaled our readiness, but the Tanakh marshals have yet to sound their horn.
All right, fine. Let me through the gates then. I have my own business with them.
I'm sure you do, but I'm afraid I can't. Commander's orders. Normally, the gates are open for any who dare to venture out. Asaram salvagers, a few especially brazen Karja, but no one's allowed in or out before an embassy. They'll reopen, once the Tanakh have left.
Where is this Commander Nozar, then? If he's the one keeping the gates shut, I'll convince him to open them for me.
I'll take you to him, but I have to warn you. The commander isn't one to break protocol, especially when he's already high-strung.
We'll see about that.
This way.
There's a lot of activity going on around here.
The Tanakh tore down this place during the Red Raids. 2 years of labor, and we still have a long way to go. The work stoppage and chain scrape nearly halted our rebuilding efforts. But I hear a certain Nora got them back to work.
I was just helping out.
Yes, well, I'm sure Ulvin was thrilled. Stand aside, soldier.
Sir?
There's the commander. Better brace yourself. And good luck.
How are we to hold an embassy with a tribe that can't even govern their own people?
What more can you expect from barbarians? Ah. Aloy, was it?
Yes. The one who cleared the valley for you? That Aloy.
We appreciate your service. At least we are ready for the embassy to begin.
Didn't you just give the signal?
Both sides must signal readiness. Until the Tanakh sound their horn, we wait.
Yea, for as the first shall be...
Shut up. Why the delay?
The Tanakh are a tribe composed of 3 clans. How many banners do you see?
You're just gonna wait? Go find out what's wrong.
Oh, this isn't some forgotten corner of the East where you come from, Nora. It's the Forbidden West. If you don't like it, run back to Meridian, file a complaint.
The Meridian I saved, you mean?
That's right. Nobody walks to the gate until the 3rd clan arrives and the Tanakh's horn has sounded. Not even the savior of Meridian.
Well, thanks, but I've waited long enough. It's time to go.
Absolutely not. This embassy depends on diligent adherence to... You shall not!
Keep telling yourself that.
Someone approaching! On a machine!
Varl. Open the gates, please.
Do not let her through that gate! That is a direct order!
Sorry. Can't do it.
Sir, it's the Savior!
I don't care if it's the Dowager Queen herself! The gate stays sealed until that horn grows!
I'm asking nicely.
I don't know what to do.
Hey, Varl.
Hi, Aaron. What's
happening? You know, the usual. Aloy wants something. People try to stand in her way. It's not gonna work.
Oh, that's it! Arrest her!
I'd like to see you try.
Supporting fire?
Yeah, I'm locked and loaded. Hey, Nozar! You stupid bastard. You think you got the authority to keep that door shut in the savior of Meridian's face? What do you think Sun King Avad is gonna do when he hears what you did? Promote you, huh? Let her through, boys. Saving the world.
Forget something back in Meridian?
Look, Varl.
It doesn't matter. Made it just in time. So this tribe that Murad told us about, the Tanakh, we need their permission to go west?
Yeah, well, I figured it'd be nice if they weren't trying to kill me the whole time.
But this embassy hasn't started yet. We're just gonna barge in?
Just no more politics. No more delays.
Oh well. Now at least you have some backup.
I guess I do. We'll see how it...
That is the line between East and West. Cross it and die.
Hold on now. Let's take it easy.
None may walk this valley until our signal sounds. That was our accord with the Karja.
I'm not Karja. I came here on my own to ask for rite of passage.
But they opened the gate for you, did they not? What is the meaning of this violation?
Why send a child? Do they want to parley or not?
The Karja can't be trusted. This is known.
Forget the Karja. This has nothing to do with them. I need to go west to save lives. Maybe even yours.
The only lives you can save are your own. By turning back. Now.
Hold! She's telling the truth about one thing. She's not Karja. She's a Nora from the Savage East. And if she seeks to save lives, should we not listen? Let me speak to her. One last favor for a fellow marshal before he's taken away. A fearless, red-headed Nora. You must be the so-called savior of Meridian.
Just Aloy.
I am unyielding Fashav. Once of the Karja High Command, last of the army of the setting sun. You'll have to forgive my comrades. Tensions are high. This embassy is a delicate affair. They're about to return me to the Sundom, a gesture that might help soothe painful grievances. And now you arrive, unheralded.
I'm not here to cause trouble. I just need to go west.
So you say. I might be able to help, but I need to know why. Along with some assurance that I won't regret it.
How did you come to be among the Tenakth?
It's quite a story, but not a quick one. Though I suppose neither of us is going anywhere before the embassy begins. Are you sure you want to hear it?
I guess we have time.
Very well. I marched with Sun King Jiran's raiders when they came west, hoping to moderate their worst impulses. I failed, of course. They committed unspeakable atrocities, stirring the Tenakth into action. When the clans overran our forward encampment at Cinnabar Sands, I stayed behind to help the last stragglers evacuate, and was taken prisoner. I didn't make it easy for my captors, mind you. And they paid me back in kind on the journey to their capital. I lost so much blood on the way that I was white as a corpse when they threw me before Chief Hekaro. I thought I was dead for sure, so I resorted to desperate measures.
So when you met the Tenakth chief, you did something desperate?
I'd kept my ears open as the Tenakth dragged me along, and I heard mutterings about a kind of trial by combat that they revere. So, when they flung me at Hekaro's feet, I demanded this rite, called the Kulrut, thinking that by winning I could request a boon, my life or even my freedom. The other Tenakth howled, but Hekaro stared them down, and then his gaze fell upon me. Evidently, he appreciated my ingenuity. He allowed me to participate in the Kulrut. Little did I know what I was in for.
You said the Kulrut is a Tenakth trial by combat.
Yes, but it is no ordinary trial. It doesn't pit men against each other, at least not directly. Instead, the combatants fight machines in a great arena, and only the strongest survive. Believe me, it is no easy thing to stare down a charging machine while hundreds around you scream for blood.
I know more about that than you might think.
Do you? Well, then you have my respect. Like you, I lived through it to claim my prize. I had hoped for freedom, but well, that wasn't on offer. Only service to the chief.
You wound up serving the Tanakh chief.
The winners of the Cool Route must serve the chief as his marshals.
You mentioned that word before. What does it mean?
The word itself refers to a kind of protective spirit from the ancient past. In practice, marshals are Hikaru's roving lawgivers, part magistrate, part judge, part executioner. I won my place among their ranks and served as honor demanded, but many Tanakhs still spat on the ground when I walked by. But they did, until I started forcing them to the ground to grind their faces in it.
I guess that's one way to deal with it.
As you may have noticed, violence is the native tongue of the Tanakh. To survive, one must master it. The truth is, though, the Karja speak it too. More than they should. I can't blame the Tanakh for hating them.
So then, are you still Karja?
Part of me, yes. Always. Yet there is much to admire about the Tanakh, especially their chief. I've heard stories about what it was like before his reign. 3 clans always at war, constantly slitting each other's throats. Hikaru and the marshals have crafted a delicate peace, and now he looks to the future. Who knows? Maybe that future will include cooperation with the Karja.
The Karja talk about Hikaru as if he's a monster.
The Karja feel compelled to demonize him if only because he swept them from the field. It is true that he is fearsome. When I was first taken before him, I thought he would flay me alive. But he is no bloodthirsty tyrant like the Mad Sun King was. I think that if you were fortunate enough to meet him, as I was, you would find that he only wants the best for his people. I hope you do speak to him. I'm sure you'd interest him. So, that's my story. You're the first Easterner to hear it, but not the last. The Karja need to know what I have learned.
Yeah. The way you talk about the Tanakh is a lot different than how they do. You asked why I need rite of passage. I'll tell you, but you won't like my answer. 6 months ago, the world almost ended in Meridian. That threat still exists. It's getting worse every day, much worse. Calling down storms, poisoning the water, enraging the machines. The source of it all has gone west, and I'm the only one who can stop it.
I've seen the signs. And I've heard tales of incredible occurrences in Meridian, an army of demons vanquished by a red-haired champion. So I'm inclined to believe you. The burden of your task is written across your face clearer than any mark of mine. I'll grant you this, to serve as proof of your right to travel into Tanakh lands. A task so important, and it's just the 2 of you. Take it from one who aspires to be a diplomat. Allies are essential. Chief Hikaru knows the West better than anyone. He may be able to help you. He can be intimidating to others, but don't let that deceive you. He is a man of his word.
Maybe. If I need him.
Your choice. You can find him at his palace, past the mountains to the southwest. Tell him I sent you, and he'll listen to it.
Look! The Sky Clan's banner!
Marshals. It wasn't easy, but I brought the Sky Clan with me.
And the commander?
No. I could only convince a few. He isn't yet aware we left.
We have banners from all 3 clans. If there are fewer from the Sky Clan, it can't be helped.
He's right. Sound the horn.
What's going on?
Not all Tanakh can stomach the idea of parley with the Karja, but enough have come for us to begin.
Then I'll be on my way.
No. The other marshals will not permit it. You wanted safe passage, you have it. After the embassy.
Karja have opened the gates.
As the sun rises over a land at war, so too can it set over a land at peace. Today is such...
Hear me, marshals! You who claim to be Tanakh!
Regala. Chief Hikaro's biggest mistake. A rival whom he should have killed.
You have forgotten that our people were born in blood. The blood of the Karja. Instead, you pledge your spears to a chief who conspires with the enemy. Hikaro has betrayed us. The embassy is proof. And all of you marshals are his accomplices. For this, I condemn you to death.
You'll need more than toothless threats to intimidate us. Exile.
Lancers, form up!
They're riding machines!
Where'd they learn to do that?
Silence.
Vashav! Come with us now, or not at all!
Archers! Light them up!
Get to cover!
Archers! Keep them back! Left flank! To the Karja! Run them down!
They're not gonna make it.
Open the gates! Open the gates! Open the gates! Karja! Stand your ground!
Fire at will!
I don't have a shot! What happened? Can you see?
It's just us now.
Hey! Calm down and fight fair!
Lancers! Take the center!
Get ready!
Stick to cover! Archers on the ridge!
Here they come! Time to fight! Kill them all! Target neutralized! Aloy, here's some ammo! Can you hit that again? For the sacred land! General attention! Hostile sighted! One more traitor's dead! We've survived worse! I got it! Someone! On target! On target! Another one down! You as good as they say? Enough! You, Outlanders! I'll skin you both!
Chief, grant me the honor of this challenge.
Granted.
You're next, girl.
I've never seen a shield like that. Better scan it. I can break through a shield if I damage it enough. Here, now's my chance. Turn! Come down here and face me!
No! It was an honorable challenge. You've earned your life today. Comrades! Mark this day! Today you have decimated the Marshals! Slaughtered the Karja! So begins our war on Hikaru. Move out!
Get him to the camp. Now.
You gonna make it?
You're going on without me, aren't you? Guess I'm stuck with Aaron. For now.
Come on. I'll take you back to the fort.
I got you.
It's salvage time, boys.
Don't think it can take a hit. I should be able to use it to glide.
Aloy. We're still trying to sort out this mess. Seems like the Tenakth have a civil war in their hands.
That sounds about right. The marshals weren't expecting Regala to attack.
And the entire Karja delegation was slain. Nozar, Wadis, Peshav. A massacre. What will you do now?
I have to head west. Hopefully this rite of passage is still good. For what I'm after, I'll cross all of Tenakth territory if I have to.
Then you have a long road ahead of you. This is only the threshold of the Forbidden West. The Tenakth's true domain lies over the mountains that border Plainsong, home of the Utaru tribe.
This isn't Tenakth territory?
All that out there? That's no man's land. It was supposed to be neutral ground, though obviously this Regala ignored that. Her rebels approached from the north, with all those machines they were riding. They must have made camp up that way.
The rebels were riding bristlebacks. And there were bristlebacks in the Daunt.
Are you saying the rebels let them into the Daunt? How would that even be possible?
I don't know. But it's worth looking into.
While you're at it, there were a number of Karja and Oseram who went out there before the gates were shut for the embassy. Maybe you could check in on them. See if they're all right.
I can keep an eye out. Is there a tall neck somewhere nearby?
A tall neck? There's that one, over there, near the Utaru border. But why?
It's hard to explain. It'll help me get the lay of the land.
If you say so. Is there anything else I can tell you before you go?
You said the Tenakth lands are far to the west. What can I expect to find between here and there?
Well, as I mentioned, you've got a stretch of wilderness known as No Man's Land, and then new Utaru farmlands. Past that are the Tenakth. Their territory is split into 3 clans: Desert, Lowland, and Sky.
Right. I saw their banners at the embassy.
The Desert clan is closest. Ooh, vicious lot. Where everyone else sees an inhospitable wasteland, they see a challenge to dominate. Somewhere beyond the desert is the tribe's capital and the territories of the other 2 clans.
You don't sound certain.
I've only heard the stories. During the Red Raids, the Karja army tried to push into Tenakth territory, but the United Clans rose up against them, forced them all the way back to the Daunt.
So no one except the Tenakth really know what's beyond the desert.
Maybe the scholars do, back in Meridian. All those scrolls have to be filled with something, right?
I need to be on my way.
Then I wish you luck. The gates will always be open to you should you wish to return. And don't worry about your friends. We'll get them patched up.
I appreciate it.
Sun watch over you, Aloy. I hope you find what you're looking for.
I'll stash this away for later. This is the Forbidden West. A whole new frontier to explore. The coordinates from the spire should lead to Silence and Hades. And just maybe, a backup of Gaia. It won't be easy out there. The Blight, the Storms, Regalla's machine riders. But I'll have to push through it all. Find a way to fix the world. Like Elizabeth would. The woman who led the ambush, Regalla, had a lot of machines under her command. There's only one other person who has that kind of knowledge. Silence. But what's his angle? Why help to knock the rebels? Good spot to test the shield wing. Why climb down when I can glide? It worked! a lot of ancient wrecks out here. Must have been a huge battle. The old ones. They gave everything they had to slow down the Pharaoh swarm. To buy Zero Dawn time. I'm still getting a signal from my focus. Tonic. If I override it, I can get data on the surrounding area. Dish. If I can climb it, I should be able to reach that tarmac easily enough. Satellite dishes. Generator. Looks dead. This'll be my stash when I need it. Climb any higher, but looks like this thing can hold it. I can figure out a way to turn the power back on. I'll be able to move things around and find a way up. power cell. Disconnected from the main power line. This should get that generator below the dish going. There's the generator. Bet this power cell can get it running. Power's back. I should check that console I found earlier. Let's see what this thing does. Be able to get to that tarmac now. Just gotta find the right spot. Looks like I might need to glide onto the tarmac. Just gotta time it right. Good use of this. There we go. Time to override. Map data to other machines. Now it's mine. Looks like those three are in trouble. turn this around.
Right. Plainsong is counting on us. Eon, stay with the harvest. It's too fast. It's 3 against 1. We can do this. Our people need this food. We can't let this thing stop us. I'm not planning on having anyone bury my seeds just yet.
Cauldron. If I can... I should get enough data to override some new machines. Easy there. Looks like the coordinates Silence gave me match that wreckage. Did he install Hades on another Titan?